And, of course, starting off with expansions, Expansion 1 was detailed to be Menaphos, and this was unveiled that they were going to be doing expansions at RuneFest 2016. So this is coming up 5 years ago they were going to announce this. And this was on the heels of players wanting larger and more substantive content updates. Specifically, you can think of something like this in the lens of an update, something like Prif. The fact Prif took 2 updates to put together and had a quest around it. Prif and the final elf quest, Plague's End, would fit into the expansions mold. But nonetheless, expansions were designed to provide 2 to 3 months worth of content in a single update. And the weeks following those updates would be focused around patch notes and further filling out the expansion and kind of just making spot fixes here and there. And what were your guys' thoughts on expansions coming in? Was it a mode that you wanted to get involved with, or do you very much prefer the traditionalist route?
I feel like I was kind of cautiously optimistic about it because, the idea of them moving to an expansion model to me was kind of exciting. We get these bigger chunks of updates that they get to spend a lot more time polishing and putting a lot more, putting a lot more polish onto, really.
Did you play World of Warcraft?
And I did not.
Okay.
I have played it. I mean, I've logged in and walked around, if that counts.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't played it seriously.
I don't think so. But nonetheless, what about you, Pernasius?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer sort of more constant updates. I wasn't a big fan of it, but hey, it was something different, and the build-up and the hype that they had around it sort of, again, you were really looking forward to it. And I will go into more of that later because I also play an Iron Man, and, views from an Iron Man point of view as opposed to a regular player, I think, would be a lot different on it as well. But yeah, I mean, again, I was sort of looking forward to it because of all the hype, but it wasn't a feature that I was sort of excited about. I like that sort of. RuneScape is very unique in that it has sort of weekly, fortnightly type updates that you can sort of log in and be excited about. And I was a sort of a content creator back then as well, and it sort of left a big hole in what you had to talk about and sort of do. Sort of at that time that there was really nothing happening.
Yeah, Tanis, I was listening back to some of our coverage on this, and you were fairly big on that. And do you want to provide any illumination on that, or?
I was really hopeful, and I was pretty all in on the expansion model because I remember, 4 years ago already. But at that time,
it was a
I was
simpler
playing a lot
time.
of ES. Yeah, well, I was anything pre-2020, right? It's simpler. But I remember playing a lot of ESO and other games like that were under expansion models, and I was really enjoying that. And I wondered what RuneScape would look like under that kind of a model. And I think too, there was a little bit of frustration with some of the smaller updates at the time. I was like, why not just wait and get something really good? Because
on the heels of Menaphos, we had Shattered Worlds, the achievement rework, the Arc.
Yeah. And ironically, I think both this is one of the few times where I can say, it's almost like the expansion model and the steady model that we're used to kind of somehow over 4 years have morphed and become a perfect the perfect mix.
And I think there's a specific cause of that, but we'll touch on that later. Expansion number 2, which was rumored, was supposed to be 4 and 3, the Wilderness City, General Wilderness Rework, and Invention Patch 2. And that was supposed to come out September or October, in line with RuneFest, but that, of course, was canned. And the lead-up that led to the idea of doing expansions before that is, we just came off of ending player power in 2014-15, and Rune Labs in 2016. Those updates came out, and then it was onto the expansions bandwagon. And ever since then, each year, it felt like there was wildly different plans going back, from the start of EOC. Each year was built and structured a different way, and we really didn't start to get any kind of general cohesion until 2019. And I think Menaphos was the last experiment on that, and they were definitely experimenting. Full monthly bits can be found on our Patreon page at patreon.com/RSBANB. By subscribing for as little as $1 a month, you gain access to the entire catalog of monthly bits, in addition to additional perks, such as early access to our show notes and a mention in them each week. Check us out at patreon.com/RSBANB.